right, finally, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Finally got the chance to see it. Obviously, that's why we're here. So I have plenty to talk about. So let's get the IMDb plot out of the way. Many years after the reign of Caesar, a young ape goes on a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices that will define a future for apes and humans alike. All right, exciting stuff here. Um, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the latest part here of the franchise of Planet of the Apes. I'll let you guys know I am a huge fan of everything they've done with this kind of new retelling of it. This remake, I hate remakes and so forth. For the most part, not to say there's not some good ones out there, but for the most part, you guys know I usually bitch and complain more than say that I like stuff that's been remade. But this is definitely a franchise that I've enjoyed, both the old one and the remakes. Just really fascinated by it, fascinated by everything it kind of tells you about society and humans and life and that kind of thing. A lot of good stuff. So I know that maybe some of you out there watch this just as from a movie standpoint, just watch it and judge it from a movie, and it's just another movie to you guys. And then I would hope that some of you guys are out there who do that, but then also kind of also take for what it tries to say about us, about humans and society, and where we were and where we come from, and maybe our future and that kind of thing. So obviously, the original, had to me, a one of the greatest twists I've seen in a movie. And then from that kind of standpoint, it really spins into again a lot about us and so forth. So maybe you guys take that in a good way, maybe you guys don't want to take that kind of criticism as part of it, but it is what it is. So that is something I also enjoy about it. And I know that sometimes I also, not only with my hate of most of the remakes, but also complain a lot, when messages are being sent in movies, and depending on the movie or whatever. But obviously, this movie is, this franchise is all about sending a message and so forth. So, I really enjoy that as well, and enjoy them continuing to kind of hammer home different thoughts about society and the way we think about ourselves, and again, our past, our future, and the world. And I always find it kind of interesting. We have apes here, and apes obviously, depending on where you guys are, or your train of thought on how evolution is and whatever, they're always an animal that's tied to us. Did we come from them, and how close we are to them. But you think about any animal, they're kind of thinking about maybe them coming, becoming human-like, and kind of their thoughts on us, and how we treated them, and so forth, or seeing them react to how we have been treating them, or at different times, maybe in past history or stuff. So lots of interesting stuff going on there. Whether you guys are just watching for the action, or if you guys are actually watching to kind of also pick up what is going to be said here, and what they're trying to say. So this obviously, it's been out in theaters for a little while now. I finally got to see it now that it's been available online. So now I don't think there's huge twists and turns to kind of spoil, but I'll try to not give away everything here. So we'll keep it sort of spoiler free. But we're here, and well, let's talk a little bit about what's going on here, and then we'll get into it. We're following Nova now. That is the new ape, the censor ape here that we're he's going on a journey, and we're going with him, basically. And we get an introduction to him and some of his friends early on, in a very interesting scene that's kind of give you a little bit of his clan. I believe they called them the clan. So apes aren't just around Caesar now. There's I guess different factions of apes living in different places, and he's one clan. Who has certain beliefs and certain ways of life and whatever, and you kind of get introduced to that in certain ways they do things. And there's not real big mention of Caesar within them. So that's kind of an interesting thing as we've gotten a little bit, far out in the future that not, Caesar's has been a standpoint, hail Caesar, we miss Caesar, has been a standpoint of many of the movies. It's kind of now, a myth, a legend, a god, whatever you want to, place him as. And even forgotten in some circles, to a new time. So you get a little bit of introduction to this clan and Nova and where he's at and where he's at with his clan and a big event that's coming up. And it really kind of goes out of whack when another group of apes comes and basically raids them, takes many of them captured, kills some of them. So much for ape not killing ape. That's not held true here anymore. I thought that was always a very, again, as I talk about things it says about us as a society and people and so forth. One of their most fascinating rules is ape not killing ape, and I'm just thinking, human not kill human? No, that like doesn't exist. Like obviously you're not supposed to, bad thing, whatever, blah blah. But it just happens repeatedly and nonstop. Whether it's accident or for real or whatever. Most of us don't eat each other. Many in the animal kingdoms they kill for eating. We don't do that, but we do kill each other, and it's just a sad thing. And it would be great if we adopted, and held to Caesar's ape not kill ape, human not kill a human. But nope, that's non-existent. That doesn't happen. So as much as we say no, it's a yes. But there, that's besides the point here. So yeah, there's going to be some ape on ape fighting, some ape violence, and Nova's obviously going to survive this attack, but kind of leave wanting revenge or wanting to get his clan back. So this is where we kind of really get into the journey part of the movie, and he's going to go on a journey to find his clan, free his clan, and bring everybody back together. I mean, that's the goal here. That's what he wants, and that's where we're shooting for in this movie. Along the way, he's actually going to run into a human, and he obviously has certain views to the human, in reactions to it. But he also runs into an orangutan who is definitely well versed in human, and follows the one of the few apes that are still around that knows of and follows the teachings of Caesar, and is very well versed on history and so forth. And as opposed to fearing the human and whatever, is going to be more welcoming of the human, and kind of gets Nova to change his point of view on this human and humans in general, and try to make him a little bit more receptive of her. And a kind of turns out that this human has kind of been following Nova, been hanging around their clan, and in turn, that's kind of why these other apes come and raid their village, because they've kind of been tracking her as well. So very obviously, in a ape central movie here in theme, having a human around is a weird coincidence here, and obviously is of importance. And we see that as that clan was tracking her, and now as we kind of get to know Nova and his journey, she's going to play a role in helping him or getting him to his clan, where he's going to have a chance to see if he can free them or not. And obviously, when we ultimately meet where his clan has gone, and these so-called bad apes now, and apes that have kind of whatever. Yeah, they use Caesar's name, but they're really not, again, following Caesar's path exactly. It is more of what we'd see a king do, and this is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. There's an ape who's very much like a king, and kind of holding his power, kind of taking in other apes and displaying that power. Kind of enslaving some, and so, I mean, they have certain freedoms, but they're probably slaves really at the most at the end of the day. So again, that is a thing. And then he's ultimately looking for what is going to keep him in power and keep apes in power. Obviously, he knows that there are humans out there. Obviously, they've been tracking this human. They know a lot about her, and she has a level of importance, and there's something that he wants that's human related, and obviously wants this human in order to help secure that. So without saying too much more, and I think then that kind of gets into spoiler. That's kind of the basics of what is happening here. I would say one thing about this movie is that and how my memory is, and I don't remember how much action every single one of these movies had. And what is this, the third or the fourth one we've had in this series? I don't remember that, but I don't remember how much action. It didn't seem like this one was as action filled. It leads up to obviously a big finale scene, a big scene there, but even that I would say wasn't really huge. It seemed like this one was really about a journey and really about introducing a new ape and kind of setting a new stage, a new world, away from Caesar. Like I said, the opening scene is interesting. It is what you get from an opening scene. Kind of getting you showing you kind of what apes can do, whatever, blah blah. A little bit of danger as well. Then you get a lot of introduction. Then you obviously have a little bit more when you have this raid on the village. That have that. It is sprinkled in, but I don't know. It just didn't seem like anything was too big, too grand in this movie as far as the action and so forth, which is okay. I mean, it's not, and I'm not saying that it's going to bore you. You're gonna be like, whatever. But I guess if you were kind of wanting to see a lot of high stakes apes and action in it, I don't know. There's a scene where they're rounding up humans, and we've kind of maybe seen that in the old ones, where they round up humans. So this is their version of it. So that's nothing terribly new. It was okay. I think you get what you expect out of that scene. Yeah, so, and I don't want to give too much away about what's happening at the end and what the goal is here and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I didn't think, too much of the action was a lot or was, that amazing in this one. I think Nova ends up being a very interesting ape, and you kind of, see, the choices he has to make and kind of the seriousness of his situation, and him having to kind of grow up or so forth. I mean, his father's, kind of the leader of the clan. So, he's almost next in line. So while you have a king over here, you have a clan over here who's more of like passing it on and just interested in keeping their clan together and life and living. And then this king on the other side who just wants to collect everybody and kind of have the ultimate power here and wants the ultimate power against humans. again, I think a lot of this one is kind of like setting the stage of where the apes are now, and then of course a lot of the messaging in this movie, as far as society and so forth. Again, we kind of see ape not kill ape go out the window. You're gonna see humans. There's a scene where, kind of reminiscent again of the old, where you see apes kind of realize the power of human, and that kind of thing, and that be realized. I think where it ends, obviously they're going to leave off for more of the franchise. Obviously there could be more. There probably will be more to go. I don't know if they've made any formal announcements, but way they end it obviously leaves it, the door open, and kind of, reveals where they might be going next. I think that, it continues to be fascinating. I think where it kind of leaves off is are human and apes going to kind of find a happy medium, or is it going to be, I think, did we already have War of the Planet Apes? Was that one of the titles for one? I don't know. But maybe war with humans, like, is it going to go back to that direction? Are we going to hit the point where human and ape are going to now fight for the planet, or are we going to coexist, or what is going to happen? Which direction are they really going to take us? So I think it's a lot about setting up the next chapter there, and really moving on from Caesar, like knowing that Caesar did have an impact, whatever, but what happens with us and us, with us, we have presidents, we've had kings, you have people, religious figures you look up to, whatever, and you have other influential people that come by, and they kind of put their mark on the world and society and whatever. But as time passes, how much does that person's legacy kind of still stand, or what they did, is it still affecting us? And obviously, Caesar's time has come and passed, and whatever he tried to accomplish is not really where their world is anymore. So it kind of again parallels us. So again, more food for thought. So I think, so I guess overall, the action is okay. Probably not as good as maybe some of the stuff that we've seen in some of the other things. The way they present it is pretty much the same. I think they pretty much nailed it as far as the apes, and it doesn't seem like there's anything held back there. The apes are fantastic. Everything they do is fantastic. Maybe the action wasn't as high leveled as maybe what I remember from some of the other movies. But still they've mastered really what they're doing here, and all the action they do with the apes. It's still fascinating to watch and see, and so forth. I don't think they really have to hold back of doing much. They have it pretty nailed down. And it's weird to say whether the acting is good or not, because it's apes. I don't know, but everything seemed on par, fine. I guess I don't know, judging ape acting, I don't know. But yeah, I think this one is kind of just falls in line and does a good job with the messaging again. It was honestly a little weird not having Caesar there. You want Caesar there, and so forth. But as you watch the old ones, time passes, and then that time is a function of the series as well. So that he's not going to be there forever. So but I would be interested to see in the next one if Nova's an ape we continue to follow. I would assume so. Since we went on this journey with him, and so forth, and obviously he knows of the human now. He knows of the interaction and whatever, and kind of the direction of where the apes want to go, and is he going to plot that way? And So maybe it will probably continue with him. We'll see. But yeah, again, depending how you watch this and so forth, I hope that you guys, kind of take the time to think about what it says, and I know that not all of it's pretty. Not all of it's pretty. Like I said, just the whole, you take the simple thing of ape not killing ape, and you think about us and what we do. That alone if anything else in the series tells you anything, that alone to me has always been one of the biggest things. In this and so forth. But I hope that I know we get bent up and you want the action, you want all the excitement and so forth, blah blah, and I want it too. But don't just dismiss all of what the film is trying to say. Even if you disagree, we can disagree with it, but just just take it in, just try to understand it. Maybe it will spark something in you. I don't know, or just make you bad and whatever. I don't know. That's fine. It's fine to disagree with what they're saying in the movie and the messaging. I mean, that's fine as well. If you're just like, I don't believe this is crap, and society is not that way, I don't see it as that way. I mean, that's fine too. I mean, whatever. So yeah, again, I think I'm gonna give this one 3.5 pools of blood out of 5. Probably not my favorite of it. For multiple reasons. I thought maybe some of the action was better than the other ones. Obviously, following Caesar. Hail Caesar. I mean, what are you gonna do? And all that. But it is still, I don't think they did any damage to the franchise and whatever. Still a solid installment here, and I think it really opens the door for what's coming next. And I might assume that maybe whatever comes next, might actually be the final of whatever they're doing here. They very probably could. I don't know if they want to squeeze in, make it into 2, but we'll see, and I'll be excited, and I'll be there, and I'll watch it, and hopefully enjoy it, and see what further messaging they can have. Are we gonna all get along? Are we gonna blow up the planet? I don't know. Stay tuned for the Planet of the Apes, and stay tuned for us here on Earth too. I don't know what we're gonna do either, but yeah, that's 3.5 pools of blood, and I'll kind of in this before I get myself in any further trouble here. So 3.5 pools of blood out of 5. So with that, horrorsquarereviews.blogspot.com is where you can obviously find me. Find all of my reviews, written and video. Obviously, you have to go back a little bit for the written reviews. Plenty of video reviews as of late, for a while now. So you can definitely just like and subscribe if that's easiest for you, like everybody else wants you to do here on YouTube. If not, it is okay. I thank you for your time regardless. Twitter, Facebook information down below as well. Feel free to reach out to me there. Talk about horror, talk about Planet of the Apes. You want to hail Caesar with me there as well, we can do that. Or in the comment section, we can do that there as well. Or if you hate Caesar, you can discuss your hate for him as well. And glad the apes have moved on, or so forth there as well. So it's all good either way. So with that, I'll catch you in the next review, horror fans.